This video is gonna be a bit off the top of my head. I don't feel amazing. I don't feel the best. It feels like I'm alone when it comes to not feeling okay. It feels like I'm by myself when it comes to not feeling okay. But I know I'm not. I know I have people supporting me. I know I have, technically, I have my family. I have my girlfriend. I have things that I could be happy about. I have things that I could look forward to. But sometimes when you really focus on, honestly, when you focus on the negative and when you focus on things in your life that you wish were going better, and you focus on things in your life that you wish were just happening in a different way for yourself, it becomes very difficult to appreciate the good things in your life. It becomes very difficult to appreciate the things that you actually do have. I'm at that point right now. I feel like there's things in my life that I could be looking forward to. There's things in my life that I don't have to be upset about. There's things in my life that I should be grateful for that other people don't have the luxury to even have in the first place, that I'm overlooking because of, my situation. And sometimes that puts us in a position where we almost force ourselves to be grateful for certain things, and then we ignore how we're really feeling. So, like, you might not feel amazing today. You might not feel the best, but everybody's telling you around you, like, you have all these things to be happy about. You have all these things to be grateful for. Everybody's always like, look at the positive, right? You have this, you have a girlfriend, you have your whole life ahead of you. You have money, you have, clothes, you have a roof over your head. And sometimes other people telling you to look at the positive prevents you from looking at reality, and it sucks because you want to be grateful for everything that's around you. You want to be grateful for all these good things, but it's hard to be grateful for all the good when all you could see is the bad. Like your glasses, if you clean the frames, there is a bigger picture, but because your frames are dirty, all you see is the little smudges. I'm at that point where I feel like it's kind of hard for me to keep pushing and keep working towards my dreams, even though I believe that your dreams are kind of what fuel your life, and following them and chasing them is what makes you happy. But what's hard is when you're trying to chase those dreams and you just get all these obstacles, you just get all these things that are thrown in front of you. I'm a believer that challenges and obstacles are thrown onto your path not to hurt you but to help you. They're thrown onto you to make you feel like you have to work harder. Now sometimes people say, like, oh well, that's making me feel, like I'm weak. But really, every time you get another obstacle and every time you get another challenge, the world is basically telling you, okay, well, you beat the last level, well, you got to beat this one. And let's just say that you're a level 50 player. In order to get to level 51, it's going to be 50 times harder. It's going to be a lot harder to get to 51. It's going to be a lot harder to get to the next level as opposed to when you were level 1 trying to get to level 10. Things are going to be more challenging, and it doesn't mean that you're not strong enough. It just means that it's going to take a lot more strength out of you, and it's going to take a lot more grit out of you to keep going. With that being said, let's get back to how I'm feeling. How I'm feeling right now is I'm not feeling okay. I'm not feeling the best mentally. I'm not feeling like I can really keep pushing myself. And I feel like I have to always put on this act behind the camera. I feel like I always have to put on this character behind the camera that says, like, oh, I'm doing great, and I can help you with this mentally, and I can help you with that mentally. And I do believe that I can always provide strength and I can always help out people when it comes to their mental health. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I'm not a human being. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going through things of my own, and I'm not going through things that honestly don't make me feel amazing all the time, Sometimes I get upset. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I get anxious. Sometimes I get anxious when it comes to putting the camera on and recording a video because I feel like I have to make every single video a certain way, or I feel like I have to just be this certain character for other people, and that's not the case. We put a lot onto ourselves to present ourselves in so many different ways and to push forward all the emotions and all the feelings that we're actually feeling just because we want other people to either see us in a certain light, which is ego, or we just want to, in the long term, we want to be happy. So other people say, like, oh, you have this to be grateful for, you have this to be feeling good about. And it's not like you don't have those things to be good about, but until you feel what's really bothering you, You can't feel what makes you happy. You can't feel those good things. Those things that once might have made you feel good, those things that once might have made you feel happy, don't make you feel happy all the time, because you are in the back of your head and your subconscious are only thinking about the things that bother you. And that's okay. But we need to bring those things that are in the back of your head to the front. We need to bring everything that's in the back to the forefront. And we need to address what's really going on. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's really going on with me is I'm not feeling the best. I'm not feeling okay. I'm not feeling amazing all the time, you know? Like, and I try to put on this character like I'm just always doing good and I'm always doing great, but that's not the truth. Like, sometimes I really am going through it mentally. Sometimes I really feel like it's hard for me to make a video. Sometimes I get nervous when I put on the camera. Sometimes I feel like I have to keep going in this direction and I don't know how to keep going. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know what my next video is going to be about. I don't know what I'm going to do later, even in the next hour. You know, I'm parked outside of the gym, but I'm hesitant to go in the gym because, like, oh, okay, well, what do people think of you when you go in? You know, you don't look a certain way. You don't feel a certain way about yourself. And then all these thoughts come into my head. And I always forget this one major thing. And it's like, it's okay to not be okay, y'all. You don't have to be okay. You don't have to be. It's okay to accept that. It's not a bad thing to not be okay. Like, just because you're not okay, just because you feel, you know, just because you don't feel the best about yourself all the time doesn't mean that you have to. Sometimes, you know, society and the world will, you know, it's very 0 or 100. It's like, oh, well, you know, you either are this depressed person and that's just you, or, you know, you feel absolutely amazing and that's just you. Like, nah, like, it's all right if you're right in the middle sometimes. Sometimes we're right smack in the middle and we don't know how to handle that. But I think that's the problem. We try to handle it, you know, and something I saw in a video was be calm, realize that everything is not in your control, and let that be your calming factor. Now, that's really hard to sit with sometimes, but it's like, unfortunately, we want to control so many things in our life, but that's actually what makes us lose even more control. What we have to realize is not everything is in our control. I believe everything works out in our favor in the long run. But when we try to make things work out for ourselves, that's actually what prevents it from working out. Because you have to trust life. Have faith in yourself. And have faith that even when things don't feel like they're working out, they're working out. You know, it's hard to have blind faith like that sometimes. But if you're sitting here and you're watching this video, you're going through it. Obviously, the world isn't done with you yet, you know? Obviously, life and the world is not done with you, and your journey and your time is not up yet. So that within itself is the very reason that should push you to keep going. Now, again, I'm not feeling the best. I'm not completely okay, but it's okay to not be okay. And we have to accept sometimes that we're not okay and we're not doing the best all the time and we don't always feel amazing. But just accepting that one key factor can help us and can make us feel a little bit better because it's the truth. And the truth sucks sometimes. Sometimes the truth hurts and sometimes the truth is a bitch. But we have to be real with ourselves and we have to be okay with not being okay sometimes. I'm not okay. If you're not okay, that's okay. And everything's gonna be okay. Will Armani.